So I wanted to make a video in the dark because I like darkness. I'm not really scared of people. I'm not really scared of the dark. And, it's... Darkness has an element of mystery to it because you can't see without any light, and darkness is the absence of light. And what I like about darkness is, even when you're in the open and you're in darkness in your mind and in your spirit, you're kind of hidden because you're not really exposed to like the attention or the spotlight is on in the room. You're not it. You're in the darkness. And I just really like that part because, if I'm out intimidating bullies, which I often am, just come to Kansas City or go to Denver and ask if they know of this guy that makes these YouTube videos. They do. And when your mind's on something like darkness or damnation, which is darkness, you're not really transparent to the audience, to the crowd, to the people, and you don't have an audience because you're not in the spotlight. You're not on demonstration at that part. And so it's kind of like saying that I like to hide in the shadows, but I don't actually do that. I just do it metaphorically. And I'll wait for a bully to reflect on darkness, and then I'll move around. And it's you shouldn't exploit people, you shouldn't bully bullies, but I have PTSD and I've done it a few times, and at the time it felt really good. I'm not a bully. I'm not an advocate of bully behavior. It's not what I stand for. I stand for things other than that go against it. And I've done it before, and it felt good. And darkness was my cloak, And it's hard to describe because not a lot of people think about, what's the darkness in the moment, or what's the bully behavior in the moment. But my PTSD. I have an obsession with bully behavior. I'm working on it. I'm working to get through it. Hopefully one day I'll overcome my obsessive tendencies. But until that day, I shouldn't say that I'm just going to hide in darkness and intimidate bullies and intimidate intimidators and bully bullies. But that's what feels good, like I'm Catholic, it's sin. And I can't hide from that. And I'm sorry. I'm not sorry to the bullies, but I'm sorry if it offends you that I exploit people that exploit others. I just, at the time I was feeling like, well, no one else is doing this. I'm going to do this. And I like to use the darkness of the moment to not face them yet, but then once they see me move within the realm of darkness in the moment, they get intimidated, they get scared, because they're not brilliant. I'm not saying I'm brilliant. Maybe I am, but I'm not saying that. I'm trying to be humble, and whatever I am, what I'm talking about right now is using darkness as a means to an end. Bullies aren't the darkest people in the world. They're really not. And I'm, obsessed with bully behavior, and I have used darkness to bully bullies. That being said, I'm gonna have to in my own life sort out for myself whether or not I'm gonna stop, whether or not it's a good idea for me to stop. And God says it is a good idea to do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. And I hope that if I ever do slip into a bully behavior, someone comes up to me and treats me the way that I treat all the other bullies, because I don't I don't make them cry. I don't, make them. Well, I do a lot, but I if if you can if you can if you can hold a steady hand in front of a bully's hand and it's shaking, even that'll intimidate a bully. And it's just, I like to use darkness to hide from being addressed, confronted. And then after I've used darkness, then I'm ready to be confronted, because then they're going to be like, did you metaphorically use darkness to creep up on me and intimidate me? Wow. And I'm like, yeah, that's... And, I just show myself or whatever, and it's funny. It's funny to me. I laugh about it all the time, but I just like making videos in the dark, and I like exploiting exploitative people. And, it's almost like correction, if you think about it, because they were doing something, I made them stop, and now they're not doing it anymore. And I do believe that reason and logic surpass the wisdom of bully behavior. And so I'll always answer to reason and logic, but I won't always answer to a bully that's in the context of bullying and intimidating. I don't like it. I don't like to see my friends or my women or anyone in my circle, threatened by a person that's just trying to intimidate people to feed his ego or whatever he's doing. And they do that, but it's who I am. I've accepted it. I like to use elements of, notions of darkness to intimidate people that they've never faced darkness. They've just been bullies all their life. And that's about it. But yeah, this was fun. So I hope you had fun with me.